Hey again, everybody. It's John Corelli, your average guy with his average guy opinion. Today is whatever. It's always good start, but I'm not editing because I'm lazy. Episode 86, Pain 2 Electric Boogaloo, which is what I call every sequel because I'm old and lame. We talked about physical pain last time. Hopefully, you guys haven't been through too much. Hopefully, you haven't been through too much mental anguish either. But as part of the human condition we all have, right? It's part of the reason I do comedy. I think is it's a release for me from that, and it also hopefully provides a brief moment of joy to some people out in that audience that might need that laugh. Those are the main two reasons I do comedy. I just love it too. God, I love comedy. I think it helped me a lot with my pain when I was growing up. Mental pain was my parents getting divorced at an early age. I was 6. My dad just wasn't dealing well with the pressures of being a young father, and I was born a month before he turned 21. My mother, excuse me, was 19. Women, I think, are just more equipped to handle that, and I don't want to turn this into a diatribe about gender identity and all that because that's obviously a hot topic these days. But I think women innately, there's something to be said for millions of years of evolution that they just handle the idea of parenting better. My mom, thank God for her. I give her all the credit in the world for everything that's good in my life. I know that I got a little emotional on her birthday. I'll try not to do that again because, like my dad after age 6, even though I know he loved me and I know he had an intense care for me, he just couldn't do it. At 26, he had to go live his life. Hey, imagine being 26 in 1974. Um, it's just a free for all. I mean, he told me later on about 3 ways he was having and all this sex, and I remember he had a litany of girlfriends after my mother and him got divorced. On the other side, my mother just went straight to my stepdad, and he had issues too. And I know I've mentioned them before. He's a good. They're both. I think they're both trying to be good men. I think we're all trying to be good men. Women, I think, are just once again. I'm not. This is not me blowing the other gender. It's just they're naturally just kinder, gentler, more nurturing people, and that's not a. That's I don't. A lot of people these days are well, we can still fight. Why would you want to? Like, that's fine if you can fight. That's fine if you're in the military and you're a woman and you're good at that. That's great, but it doesn't take away from the compliment I'm trying to pay your gender generally. Let's look at the numbers, shall we? Just prison numbers alone. How many female prisoners we got? 12. I mean, honestly, it's just this male-driven world is not always great. So congratulations to the ladies. And like I said, this is I'm not going to turn this into an homage about my mother. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my cat. He's literally pulling down the shades and looking out them like a human. And I just think that's awesome. So I got to show you this. I'm sorry, this is stupid, but look at this. Look at this goon. Oh my God, he's hilarious. He's just a knucklehead. He's perfect for this family. Me, my 2 kids, and you. All right, so yeah, mom was there for me, thankfully. My stepdad, he was there for me as a provider, but he wasn't there. He didn't care about my emotional or mental state. And frankly, even at 7, I knew that wasn't his job. I knew I wasn't his kid. I was happy to have him just be in my life, and then we'd stay out of each other's lives. And as I mentioned before, he's functional alcoholic, very functional, but also just it was a different, and he was different the way he was raised. His dad did the same thing. It was like, hey, just go be a kid. I don't know. I'm not here for you to bounce ideas off of or talk to or have emotional connection with generally. I'm here. I put a roof over your head. I put food in your mouth, and I tell you to do your homework once in a while. That's it. That's the relationship. And then, unfortunately, I needed more from him. I needed more from my dad at the time. I mean, you grow out of it eventually. I mean, you have to take. You can't blame your parents your entire life. And like I said, it was hard for me when I would come home weekends after with my dad. My mom, it hurt my mom probably more than it even hurt me, knowing our connection. He was supposed to come get me Friday nights. It was every other weekend, which was pretty much standard in the 70s when it comes to a divorce. Um, the dad would get the kid every other weekend. The mom would get the kid the rest of the time. My dad was not very good at paying child support. Um, I found that out later. She was very good about not telling me that at the time and getting frustrated because she knew that my stepdad had things handled that in that regard, and she helped too. My mom worked off and on, and also went to school and raised us. But yeah, I just sorry, I'm already halfway through, and I'm just talking about my parental issues. But I would come home, I would wait on those weekends for my father. I'd wait at the window like a puppy dog on Friday nights. Go, he's supposed to be here 6, 7. He's not here. 8. He's not fucking showing up. Next day, he would try to get here, try to get to the home in the morning. That would often last till night, and I would see him Saturday night and into Sunday afternoon, and that was pretty much it. We might get 24 hours some of those weekends, and that hurt a lot. I used to come home and cry to my mom, and I know that her a lot. But you get through it. You get through it. Luckily, like I said, I had generally a stable home life. I had a great mom. I had really good friends. That was helpful too. So you get through it. That was most of my mental pain, honestly, was growing up, and that's, I think, unfortunately, that kind of that can help or hurt you. I think this. I hate the cliche, "Whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger." But that's one of those. Well, it wasn't going to kill me, but it did make me understand. It made me a way better dad. I am present for these guys, always have been. Made me a way better dad. So seeing those two examples of what not to do oftentimes from my dad, my stepdad, and what to do from my mom made me a better parent. And I also got very lucky in terms of not losing anyone very close to me until later in life. I didn't have to deal with any of those injuries or scars on my on my psyche, I guess you'd call it. But I like, I had we moved from New York when I was 5, so I didn't have the only grandparent I was really really tight with was my grandma Jean, and she didn't die until 2010, and she had moved out here I believe in '93. So I got a lot of time with her towards the end of her life, which is great. I got to see her take her last breath. I got to feel her hand grip my hand. We would watch. It was kind of funny. This family, we're an unusual family. We love each other a lot, but we also fuck with each other a lot. Like, I remember my grandmother hated the movie The Titanic, the new one. She saw the old one, what, in the 30s or 40s, whenever that one came out, the black and white one. And she, at the end of the Titanic, she got up in the movie theater, stood up and goes, right as the credits are rolling into dead quiet, she goes, "That's the worst movie I've ever seen in my life." This woman was the best. She's the reason I'm still a New York Islanders fan. She was amazing. But, I didn't lose her till I was 42 years old. So, and she was the closest one. I mean, my other grandparents died, but they were in New York the whole time. So I wasn't super tight with them. It was sad when they died, but I was like, okay, I knew them, but we didn't have a tight relationship. So the first one that really hurt, I was 42 years old and more than prepared for it. She died of cancer. And she did great. She dealt with it. She was a very strong woman. I've mentioned her in the past. She was a single mom of my mom. She got a lot of family support, but she was an amazing lady. But yeah, I'm trying to think mentally. My son having pretty severe autism has been tough on me. If you want to talk about mental pain or but that's not I mean, my issue is to take care of him and help him through this life. But it hurt at first. The divorce hurt. These things start to pile up, but you just hopefully you're equipped for it, and that was the big thing. Like I say, I keep going back to my mom, but she did equip me for stuff. She said, "Oh, God," she used to drive me crazy with it. "Life's not fair, John." I was like, "No, it should be." Well, it's not. So get over it. Think of all the mental pain she went through growing up. I know it wasn't easy for her. I know it wasn't easy for my stepdad or my father. Oh my God, I could probably, maybe I'll do a part 3 on what I know about those families. Holy shit, it sounds like a fucking horror show, honestly. Just the way dads were built back then was, you got to think about it. Their dads were like lost generation dads. Their dads were born, so these are my parents' fathers, were born like in the early 1900s. Um, and just that spread of the generation was from 1900 to 1925. My grandparents had a very wide range, but those people didn't even know what a car was when they grew up, right? So life was a scrounge and a scrap. Who cares about love? Who cares about nurturing here? I got to put food in your belly and put a roof over your head and put clothes on your back. That's it. And so I understand that. I don't know if I'll go back to that and maybe make a part three, but I hope you enjoyed part two. I hope your mental, physical, and spiritual pain are minimal. And I hope you're having a great day, a great night, or wherever you are. Much love to all of you, and we'll talk again soon. Thanks. Bye.